Hello, lovely people, and welcome to my channel. My name is Stephanie, and this is Evolved Chit. It's my little corner of the world where I like to talk about spirituality, metaphysical stuff, universal laws, and psychology. So I was thinking about my next topic and what I wanted to talk about, and YouTube chose it for me. So this morning I was out on YouTube looking for an interview I wanted to listen to, and some twin flame stuff came up in my feed. And a couple things were all around, what's the divine masculine thinking, why the divine masculine's energy is important and all this other stuff. Now, about 2 years ago, and probably even up until about a year ago, I would have been highly triggered by that. I would have immediately gone to it, read it, pressed play, and dug in. Today, I was just like, oh, maybe this is a great topic to consider, further emphasizing the importance of detoxing from all the twin flame stuff. So I did a video on this probably about a month ago, but I felt like it could be a good opportunity to really underline why it's important, why I feel it's important to step away from all the labels, all of the stuff that many of us indulge in when we're trying to figure out what's going on within us and around us and trying to make sense of all of this. Now, again, this is just my personal opinion based on my experiences and research and all that other fun stuff. So take this for what it's worth. But I wish that the first time I heard or read or was advised in whatever content I was consuming, I wish I would have taken this way more seriously when it comes to detoxing and removing the label and the stuff from my world. All that person did, the twin flame, all the human person did was trigger me to awaken and see that I am more than my mind and my body, that I am a soul. And why, I don't know. But what I do know is that, when I look back on my life and what this showed me, I had been on autopilot and I was acting out in a certain persona, or out of my trauma, or out of my core wound, or core wounds potentially, who knows, right? So to me, I really wish I would have taken that a whole hell of a lot more seriously when I was advised in some of the content I was reading early on when I happened upon the twin flame stuff in 2017. I wish I would have absolutely detoxed from it and aligned with some of the guidance I was reading at that time. Because what happened was I kept thinking that the next YouTube channel, the next ebook, the next course, the next coaching session, the next oracle reading, I kept thinking that was going to be the key to helping me understand what was going on. And if you're somebody who has been on this journey for a while, or you're fresh to it, if you're getting stuck, it's because we are, feeding into that narrative of that seeking of information. And then what happens is that we are putting energy around this, that something's not here, or that something's missing, and that we're not complete, or we're overly romanticizing it in a way that's, might be more about a romantic relationship in terms of, we need another person to complete us, or romanticizing it in a way that is overly spiritual and kind of unrealistic. And again, this is all from my personal experiences. This is not intended to insult anyone with what your beliefs may be, but honestly, we really overthink it. And we place way too much importance on some of these elements when really what it was intended to do was to show us and remind us that we are a soul. And then for me personally, it allowed me to see what belief systems and what things I was doing that were keeping me in places that were stifling to me, or situations that were limiting my growth. And a lot of that had to just do with my mindset in general. And then I was looking outside of myself for that validation, meaning, well, I need to be in a relationship with this person, or, we need to get into union. That term really makes me cringe, honestly, and I'm not a big fan of using it, but I know it's a term that people can understand and relate to. But really, the union is just the remembrance of you being a soul. And that's what that person did for you. What a favor, right? What an incredible favor. So the faster you are able to get the twin flame stuff out of your feed, obsessing over the oracle readings, and trust me, the Beautiful Souls lady who does oracle readings and has a Patreon channel, her content is fantastic. But it's also keeping you stuck. So if you're going to get readings, do them for yourself. Like, where's your energy at? Where are you having some stuck energy or mindsets or beliefs that are keeping you stuck? So it's these general readings, even though I have some on my channel and they can be fun to do as a reader, they're really not doing anyone any favors, honestly. That's why I haven't posted them in a while, and I would prefer to keep any readings that I do with an individual and about where they are in their growth and what's going on within their energy centers. So I encourage you to please, as somebody who has been on this journey for a long time and tried a ton of stuff and thought that the next thing was going to be it, it's not. It's just all in this, creating this awareness about where are your thoughts taking you? What has your trauma or your experiences up until this point, how is it informing your thoughts? How is that informing your reality? How is that informing the relationships you have? How is that informing, what you do every day? And is that in alignment with your highest self? Which, if you believe in all the twin flame stuff, that's the soul stuff. So the faster you kind of, if you're somebody who's not in your connection with your ideal person, if you keep looking for that as being the ultimate goal, you will keep pushing it out because it doesn't feel attainable. So when you're focusing on yourself and managing your energy, living your best life, all that stuff starts to magnetize in, and you magnetize in accordingly. So that's why it's important to detox from this term, because the energy gets us all like crazy. It's almost like a drug, the drug of choice, and we're looking for a hit. So that's why we seek out this content to validate us, to confirm something, when every time, and I'm again saying this from personal experience, every time I did that, I know it was just pushing me out further. And when I turned that stuff off and just saw it for what it was for and focused on me and balancing those things out, so when my twin did come back in, I could see where my energy was wobbly. And sometimes I could see where we were good for a couple of days and then my energy would like jackknife. Maybe I was projecting because he wasn't doing something I wanted him to do, or maybe I was like just doing whatever. I could see how it pushed him away. And then when I balanced that stuff out, he came right back in. And that was a dance for a while, until I could really see like, oh my gosh, when he texts me, I do this. And then when he would text me, now, even until this day, we were texting up until like last night, I could see such a difference just upon reflection of where I was even like a year ago or 2 years ago with him. So this is a reminder that detoxing really is important. Detoxing from this term, detoxing from the content, because it can keep you stuck. It can keep you in a state of mind where you're not realizing maybe perhaps you have an unconscious narrative playing out about relationships or what this person is supposed to be for you or to you. So detox from the content, detox from the term. And if that seems kind of like impossible right now because you wake up in the morning or you're waiting for someone to drop their oracle reading every other day or whatever it is, like maybe you dial it back and just say, on Wednesdays, we don't watch Twin Flames content. So, or whatever that might mean for you. I'm telling you, the faster you can detox from that, it allows you to remain focused on yourself. I can't even imagine today, like just now, if the amount of content I was ingesting, 2-3 years ago, and even before then with my fake twin, I'm a busy person. I can't even imagine, devoting a chunk of my day to that kind of content. And when I look back on it, I was like, oh my God, I think about all the things I could have done or accomplished with that time or even that financial investment. So you focusing on you is the better bet. It's the better utilization of your time. It's a better utilization of your money. Detox from that content as soon as you can and manage your energy. Check out the Twin Flames Teachings playlist here on my channel. If you are somebody who's kind of struggling on how to approach this, there's great content there that was written by a Twin Flames coach and spiritual teacher from many years ago. I think it was probably maybe a little less than 10 years ago. I'm not sure. Somebody posted the PDF of her ebook on Amazon, and I had happened upon it a couple of years after I had learned about the name Liora through a YouTube channel. And in that time, between the time that I was watching her YouTube videos to when I found her ebook, I had become more aligned with better understanding myself by using tools to help me understand my psychology. So you hear me talk a lot about on my channel about the personal development school and understanding my attachment style. And that helped me inform what Liora talks about in the Twin Flame Teachings ebook that she wrote, the Twin Flame Sacred Keys. She talks about doing self-inquiry and reflection. When you have a trigger, what's triggering you? And there are exercises in the 3 segments that I did the ebook in the segment 3. The exercises are in there on self-reflection, but I highly recommend watching and reading all 3 of those. Because it really sets it up and helps you understand if you're somebody who aligns with the spiritual aspect of all of this, like what that means. And I think she does a beautiful job of interpreting that. I love it. I think it's gorgeous. And then 2, just continues to emphasize, what this is all about. And honestly, from things that I've read from my college days and having done a lot of undergrad studies in psychology, but also as I was digging into the content on the personal development school about attachment styles, it just all aha, this is when I got my hands on Liora's ebook ultimately, and I'd already had that stuff behind me. I was like, this is all the attachment style stuff. I can see how, my anxiety and wanting to control things was, kind of thrusting in a way that I had to understand what this meant, and and this is how it's supposed to be. And then on top of it, I understood that there was this spiritual concept to it, and it's but we're counterparts, and again, all that's really lovely and amazing, but it's insane. It's not feasible for everyday human beings to feel like they have to take on these responsibilities of being these uber beings, when all this was intended to do is remind you that you are a soul, and help you see the gap between, our mind and the avatar and the persona and the ego that we have created to be able to survive and live within the constructs of which we live within, based on our upbringing and experiences that we've had to this date. That's what the mind does. It's just like your car. Your car will adapt if you're not putting antifreeze in it, but at some point it's going to break down. And for some of us, speaking from my own personal experience, my car was just no more. And then I met this person and bam, they just blew the doors off, literally, almost quite literally. So again, I don't want to diminish the beauty of what all of this is, or and the spiritual meaning, but at the same time, it's often the stuff that's keeping us stuck. And what if this person that you're thinking that you cannot live your life without is someone that on the other side of this detox, you could absolutely live without? Because when I thought my fake twin flame was my twin flame, I never really wanted to be in a relationship with that person. This energy just stirred up a whole bunch of crazy and stuff in me that I needed to see, because I wasn't being true to myself. And to that person, I'm grateful. But I also realized too, if I was sticking with this whole twin flames narrative, and this is the person who I thought was my twin flame and they're not, then I don't even know what to say to that. So focus on you, your self-concept, what you want to experience, align with the soul stuff. That the soul knows the way. Right now, we're just kind of trying to figure that out by thinking that we're supposed to be with a person and that's the answer to everything. This just keeps showing you and pointing you back to the fact that the real relationship is the one that you have with yourself. And where have you been not been showing up for yourself? Where have you been not been nurturing yourself or doing like the good self-parenting? And even though I felt like, if you looked at me on the outside, you would have thought all this stuff was going on the inside of me. And I was struggling with a lot of things. So I thought I was okay. And I really wasn't. And I had some stuff that I had to address and to deal with, that I just allowed myself to ignore too many red flags with people, or I wasn't always putting my best interest first. And everyone's going to be different. But what I found with a lot of people that I coach and read for, that's the common narrative right there, is self-sacrifice. And then allowing things. And I believe, in my experience, my twin showed up that way to show me that, he didn't want any part of the fake stuff. When I was trying to force it or be something that I wasn't, that's when he stepped. But when I'm back to being my weirdo self, he was all over it. So that made me look at things in like a different way and like, oh my gosh, like how am I operating? And when I started to be really honest with myself and like, you know what, you might have some stuff you need to handle here. Because I had taken that personal development school attachment style quiz, and I probably wasn't honest with myself the first few times that I took it. And I was like, I got a secure attachment. And then I was digging into things and I'm like, that's not me. And then as I dug into it more, I'm like, I'm not being honest with myself. Because, thoughts me, mind me, my mind, my thoughts, my ego thinks that everything's all right. When in all actuality, it really wasn't. So be honest with yourself. Are you being delusional about what this is or what you're doing, or, 12 hours a day of watching content or listening to content? I probably would spend, when I was like in the throes of this, I probably could listen to stuff all day long while I was working. If I didn't have a meeting or something, I'd just have it on loop, but now it's like, it's such a gift to really reclaim yourself and your time. So the faster you can detox from this term, the faster you can detox from the content, it'll allow you to see a lot of things that I didn't see at first on the journey. And then after I finally let go and, remove those things from my feeds, the pages that I followed, the channels that I subscribed to, when I did that, that's when stuff started showing up and the realizations were hitting me like, wow, blew my mind what I was allowing. It also blew my mind what I believed that I was doing was right. When really it was all in an effort to control outcomes. And when I started minding my own business, taking care of my own energy, my relationships, the dynamics changed. So detox from that term, get clear on your self-concept, check out the Twin Flames Sacred Keys teaching that Liora wrote. The ebook is for sale on Amazon. Again, someone posted it up there. I don't know how long ago, but it's out there. And then I recorded it, an audio version for myself because I learn better some topics with audio. So I put that out on my channel because I thought that might be helpful for others too. So check out the Twin Flame Sacred Keys teachings that Liora wrote. Also, visit my website and you can download the free 7-Day Mindset Reset ebook and 7 days of simple exercises to help you get into alignment with who you are. And that's something that I do kind of regularly, maybe every few months, every 6 months or something, just to check in with myself and make sure I'm still in alignment with like my vision, mission, and values. And then that keeps me focused on, what are the things that I want to experience more of in my life. And as I did more and more of that, guess who keeps showing up? And the interactions now, it's not like this intensity or anxiety or, projection or that push and pull energetics. Like we were texting yesterday, and it was just fun stuff. How our day was going, when we're gonna get together next, what we're gonna do. It's not like all this intense stuff that we tend to put around it while we're navigating some of the um, obsessive thoughts and projection that many of us experience early on and often throughout the course of the journey until hopefully we have this realization of like, wait a second, I really shouldn't be putting all this energy over there on him. I really need to be focusing on me. So I hope this was helpful. It was kind of a random rant, but I just wanted to go off on this again about detoxing because it makes me a little sad sometimes when I see that a lot of this content is still being put out there. And I know a lot of it's clickbait, so people go to the channel and everything. And I mean no disrespect to anyone who's doing this content. I know many people are very sincere about it. But I'm just sharing with you what my experiences were and what really helped me get over this edge, if you will, and onto the other side. So visit my website, evolvedchit.com, go to the Get Started page. You can download the ebook there. Also check out my blog. Lots of content out there about mindset, manifestation, law of assumption, and spiritual journey. And also, if you'd like to speak with me, I'm now offering 30 and 60-minute coaching sessions that you can purchase through my site. So this is just a reminder that you are loved, you are amazing, you are wonderful, and you are really freaking needed right now. So step into your power. And until next time, I'm sending you lots of love and good vibes for your journey. Bye.